In this section, I'm going to share with you one of the most powerful techniques I use to extract ideas, and that is using metaphors. First, I want to say that the process of getting an idea out of your mind and into the real world is unique to you. So anything I say here on after is a suggestion. So what is the process I follow when I'm getting an idea out of my mind and into the real world? The process is, of course, not linear, because an idea doesn't really come to us and conveys itself from left to right, from A to B. There is a seemingly high degree of randomness to it. I'm sure you've all experienced that. And it is in that phase where I do my best to try to not control the idea and try to step to the side. One of my favorite things when trying to get an idea out of my mind is to work with metaphors. I use metaphors to try and help myself understand the idea that wants to come out. For example, let's make a metaphor about using metaphors. If I imagine that my mind is a river and the idea are fish in it, using metaphors is like using a fishing tool to get the idea out. Another example that I sometimes use for myself is to use the metaphor of the cave. In this metaphor, I imagine that my idea resides in a cave. I even imagine that the idea is shy and vulnerable and afraid to come out. Then I develop that metaphor even further. What if my idea needs to stay in the cave for a certain amount of time because it's not ready to be exposed by the sun outside? Playing with that metaphor, my job is to stay outside the cave and just wait and be available when it comes out. Another example I use is the idea of an idea coming to me like collecting drops of morning dew. That metaphor helps me be patient, but drop by drop, the idea will slowly grow into a lake. What is required in all metaphor is my presence. I have to wait by the river, by the cave, or by the morning dews. A way to do that is to stay there and almost kind of waste time in the vicinity of the idea. It doesn't mean I have to think about the idea all the time because that might scare it away. But I do try to be close by in case it calls me. So this is an example of my metaphors. It is very important that you create your own metaphors. We want to start training ourselves a little bit. So what kind of a metaphor would you like to create when it comes to extracting ideas?